I don't have a role in here where I frighten children. That's why I got into the business.
But Tom, the movie's done. We shot everything.
You told me that Big would scare people. You told me kids would be like, oh no, I don't want to be an adult, and they thought it was fun.
You're telling us this now?
Let me ask you something. Am I Tom Hanks?
Yeah, you're Tom
So
Hanks.
shut the fuck up and let me scare some kids.
Big is undeniably a classic from 1988, featuring the lovable charm of Tom Hanks as we follow his character face the consequences of wishing he was, well, big. I consider this film one of my all-time favourites, but that's not to say that it doesn't have its faults. It certainly does. There's some pretty bad noticeable ADR.
I made this wish on the machine.
Among some convenient writing that's quite stupid. But what people don't seem to talk about is the underlying horror of the film that the filmmakers never fully leaned into and the audience didn't even realize. So let me dig out my old DVD and inform you about the unseen horror of Big. Wait, hold on, where's the disc? Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Now, obviously, the film begins and we are shown the downsides of being a child, or little. So Josh makes a wish to be big, and Zoltar, because he's a moron I guess, takes it literally and just turns him into a 30-year-old man. This is where I believe the true horror comes into play, despite being disguised as a light-hearted kids film. And to me, what I'm about to go into is personally terrifying. Firstly, waking up in a different body will be a massive shock and raise multiple questions and will make Josh lose his grasp on reality a bit and begin to question the meaning of life. The scene where he realizes he is now big is quite interesting. Sound design is an integral element of filmmaking and people tend to overlook it. In this scene there is cheery music playing while Josh goes through a crisis. If you were to take it out, the tone of the scene becomes completely different as the scene doesn't elicit the joyful emotion from you to remind you this is a kids film. And that is also why I believe editing is the most important aspect of a film. Anyway, within the same sequence we see Josh's mother not only not believe him, but threaten his life. The one person that's supposed to support and protect you is doing neither, and that's kind of a scary thought because it would alienate you. If even your own mother doesn't like you, then who will? One of the most daunting ideas of Big is the fact that all of a sudden all of these responsibilities are just thrust upon you and can easily overwhelm you, which I like how the film touches on that, as it's kind of a social commentary on the stupid belief that once someone turns 18 you are suddenly an adult and have to do everything yourself despite being no different to how you were the day before. Carrying on, this idea is displayed in the scene where Josh stays his first night in the hotel when he cries himself to sleep. When I was younger, I always interpreted this as Josh crying as he's scared of the gunshots and loud noises he just heard, but when I rewatched it recently, I viewed it as him having a breakdown and coming to terms with the fact that he may never have the joy and freedom of being a kid again. He realizes right here that he may never get to interact with his family again. He realizes that he's gonna have to transform his lifestyle and start to do these things that nobody has prepared him for. Now, the following part that's scary is just a big thing that I just unironically said big. Wow. The following is just something that the filmmakers neglected in order to make the audience suspend their disbelief and have a fun time, but I'm gonna look into it too far and be really pretentious. So, it's quite alarming that Josh was able to get a job without a social security number. Is that not scary? It really makes you question what America is doing with their economic and employment system. Furthermore, it's shocking that Josh is able to get the best job just because he played around on a piano with the boss and got all buddy with them. It's so ghastly that there are people busting their asses trying to get jobs but can't seem to find employment in this climate, while Tom Hanks is over here living his best life with an incredibly high paying job. But at least he spends his money on stuff that goes right back into the economy and improving the local area. Wait, how does he pay taxes? Damn, tax evasion is real scary. In addition, the last bit I'm going to talk about is about the ending, and is all to do with Elizabeth Perkins' character, Susan. And I gotta say, this video is mostly a joke, but this is something that I genuinely find horrifying. When Josh, for whatever reason, decides to go back to being little, which is scary in and of itself, because I bet Josh is going to be frightened when he realizes that taxes are a thing, Susan now recognizes that Josh was telling the truth, and he is actually a child. This is where I started to internally scream on my rewatch. Susan must be so confused and anxious as she now has to deal with the fact that she has fallen in love with, and technically raped, a child. That's gonna cause some proper head spinning for her and will ruin her life if anyone finds out. And also, it layers onto what I was saying earlier about making her lose her grip on reality. If he can magically transform into a big boy and then a little boy, what else is possible? Is anything even real? But mainly the fact that she's gonna be absolutely perplexed and guilt-ridden for the rest of her life. It's just so damn weird and just Yeah, so this video started out as a genuine thought that I had, and then I rewatched it and it became a joke video in my head. But there is a fair amount of existential fear in this film, so I was kind of semi-serious in the beginning. But other than the last point I made about Susan, this video is a joke. It's not a good one, but this is sort of a parody of people who dissect films and try to find meaning in something that the filmmakers clearly didn't even intend. Like, I mean, come on, I didn't even touch on arguably the most sickening part of the unfocused horror in Big. The fact that a little boy has been supposedly kidnapped and the kidnapper is calling the mother? That's some serial killer type shit. And also just the fact that the mother would be the shell of the person she is because her beloved son has gone missing. That's traumatic. But at the end of the film, he just shows up on her doorstep in a big blazer, so it's fine, I guess. Big is a good film. It's a classic for a reason, and that being, Tom Hanks is great. It's really funny, and it has a message to children about how they should value their time while they can. Is it the greatest film ever made? No. Is this the greatest video ever made? Oh god, no. This was an idea I came up with last year, and it only materialized now so I could rush out another video, because just like Tom Hanks in Big, I'm growing up way too damn fast, and I'm starting to deal with serious shit, and I don't have as much time to make videos anymore. So, I hope you understand. Thank you for watching, and thank you for putting up with me. Making these videos is a big, I'm so funny, part of my life, and it really makes me happy that there are actually people who watch them and enjoy them. Happy Halloween, and if you're not watching this on Halloween, then get out of here, you dumb idiot. So sorry for making terrible content. The past two videos have been concepts that are good on paper, but are hard to make in a video essay format, as you have to drag it out to the length of a video. Oh well, next video is going to be my first sequel video, so I guess you could say I'm dragging that idea through the dirt as well. But please don't say that, because the video's actually going to be good, I think.